All rise. The Honorable Roger L. Gregory, Circuit Judge of United States Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit. Oyez, 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 all persons having any manner or form of business before the Honorable United States Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit are admonished to draw nigh and give their attention, for the court is now sitting. God save the United States and this honorable court.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please remain standing for the performance of our national anthem sung today by Dr. Lisa Edwards-Burrs.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Lisa. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. My name is Jamie Boskett. I have the distinct privilege of serving as president and CEO of the Virginia Museum of History and Culture, and it is truly an honor to welcome you all here, all across the hall, all that are watching online, to your State History Museum and to this exceptionally special ceremony as we celebrate our nation's 248th birthday. Today, 95 people from 46 countries all across the globe will officially become new citizens of the United States of America. We gather today in the oldest museum in the Commonwealth of Virginia, founded nearly 200 years ago, and still today, the only history museum entirely dedicated to saving and sharing the rich history of this Commonwealth. More than 9 million historical artifacts are cared for by this museum and stored in this very building, one of the largest and finest history collections in the United States. These tangible reminders of the past are essential for our remembering of where we've come from. And with thoughtful reflection, they guide us forward to continued progress. Through perspective, through empathy, traits best learned through the study of history, we become better neighbors, and we form a stronger community. I hope you'll take time today as you're visiting, either as new citizens and their families, or as we celebrate together American independence, or perhaps someday soon, to explore all this wonderful museum has to offer, including, I will note, 2 very special displays that are available today and for a few weeks to come. Julia Child, A Recipe for Life, the story of an American icon, and also A Better Life for Their Children, Julius Rosenwald, Booker T. Washington, and the 4,978 schools that changed America. Both compelling stories of change and progress. I'm also proud to note that to all of our new citizens, You will be receiving a 1-year family membership to the museum in celebration of your oath today, allowing you, we hope, many opportunities to make the most of the many special experiences and programs that take place here at your State History Museum. We can also take pride in your membership and support, as many others in this room, in knowing that you're supporting the ongoing institutional work to preserve and share Virginia's history. And also, of particular note now, and you'll remember I noted 248 years, in this institution's effort to lead the way in Virginia and across the nation as we looked forward to the commemoration of America's 250th anniversary, so just 2 years away. This is a moment I think we all should embrace, this historic moment, extraordinary in our lifetime, and act upon it by together renewing our commitment to the unfinished pursuit of a more perfect union. After all, our American experiment is unique in human history, a government of laws and not of individuals, a government by the people and for the people, founded on the self-evident truth that all are created equal and endowed with universal rights. In our first 2.5 centuries, our nation, through the determination of its people and with its unlimited capacity for reinvention and renewal, has progressed in its journey, working to fulfill through struggle and sacrifice the promise of the founding of this great nation. We are a work in progress and always will be. This is hopeful work. This is work worth celebrating today and work worth commemorating as we look ahead to the 250th. And here at the VMHC, that work will take many forms, including 2 major statewide exhibitions to mark the 250th, numerous programs and special events, and one of the largest investments in statewide civics education to launch from this very institution called Civics Connects to reach middle schoolers everywhere where they live in this Commonwealth, which we're really quite proud to be releasing and announcing today. There is so much to look forward to, and I hope that you'll stay in touch and stay tuned for all the great work coming from this institution. As we proceed with today's most special ceremony, I would like to offer a few quick thanks. First, to the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services for their lasting partnership. Also, our appreciation goes to the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Virginia and the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit. And in particular, I am most pleased to offer our collective gratitude to the Honorable Judge Roger Gregory for his commitment, his support, his passion is really what has driven this great tradition on July 4th. Thank you, Judge. I also extend our thanks to the Daughters of the American Revolution, members of our Board of Trustees here at the VMHC, and also our staff and volunteers who are all here on this holiday for you and to celebrate in this special place. And last but not least, I would like to recognize the very generous support for today's event overall that has been provided from our friends at McGuire Woods and also from the Bob and Melinda-led Independence Day and Citizenship Fund. Thank you all very much. It is now my pleasure to introduce Assistant U.S. Attorney Robert McIntosh to present today's candidates for citizenship.
On behalf of the United States government, it is my pleasure to present these 94 applicants from 46 countries who have been approved for United States citizenship. In addition to taking the oath of allegiance, there are 17 applicants petitioning for a name change. Each applicant has been examined under oath by a designated officer. Each one has demonstrated an understanding of the English language, knowledge and understanding of the fundamentals of history, and the principles and form of government of the United States. Each one has been found to be a person of good moral character, attached to the principles of the Constitution of the United States, and well-disposed to the good order and happiness of the United States. And now, with the court's permission, I would like to call the applicants by country of origin. Candidates, when you hear your country's name called, please stand and remain standing until you are invited to be seated. Your Honor, I now move that, let me read the countries. Afghanistan, Argentina, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Brazil, Bulgaria, Burma, Canada, China, Colombia, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Egypt, El Salvador, Ghana, Guatemala, Haiti, Honduras, India, Iran, Iraq, Italy, Jamaica, Jordan, Liberia, Mexico, Morocco, Nigeria, Pakistan, the Philippines, Poland, Russia, St. Kitts and Nevis, Senegal, South Africa, South Korea, Spain, Sudan, Turkey, Ukraine, United Kingdom, Vietnam, Yemen, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Your Honor, I now move that the court grant the name changes to those petitioning for change of name and ask the court to administer the oath of allegiance to our new citizens.
Mr. McIntosh, the court is pleased to grant your motion. Now, are you prepared to take the oath of allegiance? Then I would like you to raise your right hand and then repeat the oath along with me. You may want to use your papers. When you're ready, raise your hand. All right. I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen. That I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by law. That I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by the law. That I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by the law. And that I will take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. Congratulations. Yes. You may be seated. Let me be the first to say congratulations to my fellow United States citizens. You know, I always wanted to speak to United Nations. This is as close as I get. And then as soon as I administer the oath, we're all United States citizens. So there goes United Nations again. Let me say this. You inspire us. You inspire us today because you remind us that attaining United States citizenship is still treasured. And it's worth the time and toil involved, and for some, trials and tears endured. And remind us that it must not be taken for granted. Thomas Jefferson said in 1785, "My God, how little do my fellow countrymen know what precious blessings they are in possession of, which no other people on earth enjoy." He said that to James Madison. I think today we should be reminded that it is a blessing to be a United States citizen. And you are demonstrations of the toil and the time that it takes, because I know it was no small measure of effort. It takes a lot of hard work. And sometimes those by birthright who are United States citizens forget that. Let us not take that for granted. This is the 4th of July where we celebrate ideals. You know, it's amazing how we celebrate 4th of July. We don't celebrate the Constitution as that's the date of the Constitution in 1787, nor do we celebrate Yorktown when we ended our conflict with Britain and received our independence. Instead, we celebrate the day that we declared the ideals of freedom and liberty, and justice. That's important to remember that. It's not necessarily the victories and those things completed, but it's the ideals that keep us going forward. And I say to you, you remind us that it is still worth the toil. It is still worth our time. And perhaps sometimes even our trials and our tribulations and tears. But this is the promise, the American promise. In the Constitution of the preamble, the first thing they said was what? We the people. And believe me, they know it better than most American citizens because they went through this. Matter of fact, anybody want to question how long you've been? Say, well, let me give you a test and see how long you've been here. But the preamble says, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union. Now, you know, and I don't want to quibble, of course, my good colleagues and other people on the courts, and it goes on and said to establish justice, to ensure domestic tranquility, to provide for the common defense, promote welfare, secure liberty, and all of those things. We recognize that that's a work in progress to do those things. But it seemed like some people think that to form a more perfect union was completion. No, it is an active participle too. Present participle, right? Forming is the question. We know it was not perfect, because we know that, unfortunately, at the time, a lot of people were not included. Matter of fact, most of these people in the room, I'm telling you, who have been citizens for a long, long time, a great deal were not included. But it was a goal. It were ideals. And the idea of forming a more perfect union is what makes us go forward. Now, briefly, I want to talk about a little bit about citizenship. Thomas Jefferson said this. He could have said this probably yesterday, but he said it in 1797. After all, we are celebrating his words today. Let's celebrate what his words say to us today beyond the Declaration of Independence. He said, it was by the sober sense of citizens, our citizens, sober sense of citizens, that we were safely and steadily conducted from a monarchy to republicanism. And it is by the same agency alone we can keep from falling back. You'll get that on the way home. It was the sober sense of citizens that steadily got us to the point from a monarchy to republicanism, a Republican form of government. And it's that same agency of sobriety that will keep us from falling back. So therefore, we cannot be drunken with the idea of being satisfied. The poverty of satisfaction, as Bobby Kennedy said, can be difficult. You can't be satisfied just where we are. We are moving forward still to the goal of a more perfect union. Let me quickly tell you this about citizenship. I love this. This was written by Dr. Ronald Daniels, president of Johns Hopkins University, in his wonderful book called What Universities Owe Democracy. Listen what he said. He calls it the democratic citizenship. It's not about partisan party, the democratic people self-government citizenship. He said, democratic citizenship rests on an irreducible set of foundational actions and duties that must be practiced for democratic self-government to thrive and endure. See, it's all in our hands in terms of the endurance of our great nation. Effective democratic citizens do this. They reason and argue and tolerate and participate. And more importantly, they aspire to achieve the best version of their community and engage their fellow citizens and the political realm in that project. You see, forming a more perfect union is a project. It's like in school homework. I don't know what they call it now. It goes homework. You got work when you get home, because it's what you do when you are alone to your own thoughts that makes the difference in terms of your character and your commitment to justice and your commitment to having a more perfect union. And he said further, the genius of liberal democracy lies in no small part in its capacity to value and give voice to the great diversity of human experience, appreciating the value and diversity of human experience. Jefferson went on further and said this, and I love this. This is a goal. I sincerely wish that the whole Union may accommodate their interests to each other. And listen, and that the wealth and strength of any one part should be viewed as the wealth and strength of the whole. What a thought. That when you see every part of our nation, every part have wealth and strength, view that as yours, and yours will be viewed as theirs. That's the only way we can make this union more perfect, when we see we are in this together and we need each other to fulfill these lofty goals of the Declaration of Independence and the challenge of the preamble to the Constitution. Yes, we the people have that obligation. And I know that you're able to do that, because the highest service is to the public good, as Virgil said. So therefore, we must do all that we can to keep that high and lifted always. You know, this year is a very special year for our nation. And for me, I think about a lot of reflections. I call it the tens. 80 years, 70 years, 60 years ago. 80 years ago, last month, D-Day, 1944, when our troops and Allied troops, mostly American troops and Canadians, stormed the beaches at Normandy to liberate France. And it was the beginning to the end of World War II. 70 years ago, 1954, Brown versus the Board of Education said that separate but equal public education violates the Constitution. 60 years ago, 1964, the Civil Rights Act said that nothing can be deprived of you in terms of accommodations by the color of your skin or natural origin. These are landmark years. Remember, you have to be sober citizens. The sobriety is this: the love of our country cannot be just a matter of lip service. It must recognize that we are still have incompleteness. But here's what I love about this story. And people think that this is a negative. I think it's an incredible positive. In D-Day, part of the divisions that was storming the beach, that was a part of that was the 101st Airborne. Do you realize the connection with Brown is at Little Rock, Arkansas, Central High School? This is the kind of nation we had. President Dwight David Eisenhower sent the 101st Airborne Division to make sure that 9 Negro children could go to Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas. What a country to say, not only did we liberate France, but that same division was trying to make sure that 9 skilled children could go to school safely. That's forming a more perfect union and the power of the ideals. Let us not forget that it is toil. There is toil, and it takes time. But our love for our great nation must endure. But also it must be a sober love. It must be participating. It be one that values diversity and all that we have to offer in love. So I say to you as I close, keep forming the more perfect union. And you don't have to be high and lifted on a candlestick, but you form a more perfect union every time that you help somebody else have a better education, be able to enjoy the ideals and freedoms, to understand that they are valued, to believe that this fabric that we have and this cloth that now you're woven into is worth the while, and it's worth to bring along their strengths and make it the wealth of all of us. God bless you. Continue to form a more perfect union, and I wish you well. And again, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Gregory, for your moving words, and congratulations again to each and every one of you. It is now my honor to invite forward one of our newest citizens, Ailey Crookshanks, if you want to come on up, please. She will be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance and then offer a few words of reflection on her journey to be among you today as American citizens. If you'd all please rise. And we'll say this along with Ailey.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated.
Yay. Congratulations, everybody, on this achievement. My journey to the United States started in the United Kingdom, and it brought me over here about 10 years ago. I was lucky enough. I did my bachelor's and master's in social work. I'm so excited to be able to become a citizen and be able to use my voice and make a change and a positive impact in the country. So congratulations, everyone. Yay.
Okay, the next important official steps to receive your certificates of American citizenship. New citizens, you'll be directed by our friends that you'll actually stand up by row when you're called. You'll exit via the doors to the theater. You'll come around and then enter the stage from the side door to my left. You'll receive your certificate when your name is called, pass across the stage, down the steps, and right back to the same seat that you started in, okay? This is a first test of citizenship. A full circle back to your seats. Okay, we'll bring forward our friends from USCIS to begin reading of names and certificates as our first row exits the theater. In our platform part, if you'd like, we can rise and receive them as they.
Alan Hernandez. Iris Gomez.
Thank you, sir.
Salva Basta. Jang Jing. Mohammed Alam. Nelda Mulder.
Thank you.
Brendan Carras. Hatem Jabor. Guillermo Ola.
Congratulations.
Anna Yu. Yaselin Castro.
Thank you.
Sifo Mbambo. Basira Karishi. Veronica Hernandez. Vic Win. Priyanka Modi. Nello Simankunde. Jonathan Guzman. Babatunde Abiodun Emmanuel. Cam Wynn. Luis Mendez. Neha Kandui. Chandra Nagabandi. Roberto Angelina. Radha Minam. Erman Akhtin. Josue Hernandez. Shiha Augustine. Jose Rodriguez. Nigel Williams. Basma Ahmed. Jill Burrows. Miran Bakitari. Leslie Hernandez Leon. Jacqueline Rivera. Pietra Balsamo. Tan Tran. Mariana Rico. Shamsia Sultani. Yangjun Liu. Tuyen Wen. Mariam Aslam. Zoel Tobar Jr. Buddy Sarkey. Zivad Hodjik. Arthur Alajanian. Susanna Moore. Mohammed Ahmad Awad Al-Sid, Jose Cruz Lemus, Donovan Moraes, Abdul Wahab Sise, Maged Malik, Malali Sultanzai, Anastasia Quintana, Bushra Al-Homadi, Maria Vasquez Lopez, Anna Lee, Hagir Suleiman El Dimyati, Mugahid Hasbel Rasul, Shelly Shaywood, Kichka Slavova, Julian Cardona, Yulia Groombridge, Madonna Morshed, Adam Nahi, Macha Lich, Ankita Patel, Sadia Kashif, Yohoko Aguilar,
Thank you so much.
Jordan Shirley,
Thank you so much.
Kamal Katak, Martin Lupin, Deborah Olegunju, We Too, Diana Sund, Locke Timsina, Richard Taylor, Belinda Arma, Bedislav Hadziev, Arij Abushar, Mercedes Dolfo, Isaac Clark, Cynthia Gonzalez, Sunita Nimala, Sunita Nagabandi, Nikhil Devering, Diane Grimes, Margaret Gariantes, Kinji Zhan, Ailey Cookshanks, Omar Abuma Strusay, Delfina Aviles, Simon Glossop. And last but not least, Teresa Lopez.
I think we can do just a little bit better than that. Let's get rousing. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Our ceremony is nearly complete, but the patriotic fun is just beginning. I invite you all and your families and everyone here to join us just outside in Commonwealth Hall for a little birthday cake for America, lemonade, and some fun patriotic music. I hope you'll also take advantage of some of the activities here in the museum today, including a patriotic scavenger hunt in the galleries upstairs, and also a very special opportunity to get up close and personal with some rare American archives on display today only in our research library. I thank you all for being here. I wish you all the joy of independence. And if you would please now, let's rise and join together with Dr. Edwards Burrs in the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. Through the mountains, to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
This honorable court stands adjourned, signing die. God save the United States and this honorable court. I don't hear. Did you
I
hear
think
it?
it is. What, DAR people come up here? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a DAR people come to the stage.
Members.
Members.